Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Nova Cinemas, Place Vendome Doha, Qatar for a brand new movie show.
That's right, Nova Cinemas Qatar and Qatartainment are proud to present
Are you
not Qatartained? Let's get you Qatartained. Okay, so first of all, if you're new to us, we want to be positive. We're not going to movies to critique. We're not looking for the bad points, we're looking for the good points, so we can tell you, in all honesty, do you think you're going to enjoy these movies? Isn't that right, Isabel?
Yes.
So first of all, tell the kids at home your favourite movie, because this surprised me.
If I have to choose the one, I would say Insidious.
See, that is a dark, scary movie. I mean, Isabel, I would thought, no, I'm thinking of Pixar, which we'll talk about in a moment. But why do you think Insidious would be the one of your favourite movies?
Because I like horror to start with. That's my favorite genre. And it's just too much going on in Insidious. It's too much dark and too much heavy. I feel like I'm a person who can handle that.
Handle the dark.
Yes, that's why I like it.
Big movie news this week, Isabel. Inside Out 2 smashing every domestic global box office records. Now, you haven't had a chance to see it yet, but you love the first one. Tell me why.
Because it just, you know, it's a great movie for kids to watch. It's very colorful. It's very like welcoming to you. You want to watch it. Not even once, you want to watch it again. It's not only for the kids, but also for the adults. I enjoy it very much because there is action, there is going on something like what's going to happen next? Who is she? Who is this character? A lot of characters, developments of the characters.
Yeah, great. So Inside Out 2 has been out a week, and just this morning we've read that it has hit already the $200 million domestic box office in the US.
Let me at him! We gotta get our mouth guard, people! Fear!
That's a crazy amount of money. But what they've done is, I think, they've hit on the Pixar formula again, which they'd lost for a little while. But they're back to that moment of empathizing, getting the kids, getting the teenagers, and getting adults. And people are going to see it again and again and again. Adults on their own, adults in groups, and of course taking their kids as well. Because the first movie came out a while back. So now the kids who saw before want to see what happens next to themselves and go, that's me, that's me. I think that's true in the second one. Definitely.
Yes.
So I'm very happy that Inside Out 2 is doing so well. I still have to catch most of it. I've caught most of it, but I really, really enjoyed it and it made me happy.
Cannot wait to see it.
There's so many great lines, yeah. And if you have seen it, folks, as always, we want you to get involved in the conversation, get involved in the community of Qatartainment. Add in comments below. You can follow us both or Qatartainment.official on Instagram or also on X. On Facebook, you'll find us everywhere. So please like, please follow, please subscribe, please comment. This week, we lost Donald Sutherland. Okay, so a true Hollywood icon. He has over 200 movie and TV credits on IMDb, you'll see. Of course, father to Kiefer, who Kiefer gave a very heartfelt message this morning for his father. He loved what he did, of course he did, and he loved to do what he did, which was awesome. Okay, so modern audiences might know him from The Hunger Games as President Snow. He was also Mr. Bennett in the most recent Pride and Prejudice adaptation. He was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. He was in MASH. He was an icon and he'll be missed by Hollywood for sure. Should we get on to the big releases this week, Isabel?
If you're a fan of horror like me, you would be very excited for this week because this week's release is going to be The Exorcism.
The Exorcism, starring our guy?
Our guy.
Russell Crowe.
Yes.
No.
He will protect his children.
We spoke about Russell pre-recording, and we sort of appreciate the path he's gone into now.
Yes.
So he was made famous, of course, in LA Confidential, The Insider, which were brilliant movies. Revisit them if you haven't. And then he sort of went on the Oscar bait route.
Drifted.
After Gladiator, he went into things like, A Beautiful Mind, Cinderella Man, and then he disappeared for a while, and then he came back. Nice, round and cuddly, shall we say. He was in The Mummy with Tom Cruise, or My Mission Impossible, as I like to call it. So it's a horror movie, as we say.
Yes, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, so.
It's happening on the set, I do believe they're filming something. They go, the priest who's playing the priest, which is him, he becomes possessed.
So he's on a film set.
Yes.
In a film.
Yes.
About an exorcism.
Yes, that's like what the link of those is just
Yeah.
super crazy.
Yeah. So what's really interesting about this one is the director, Joshua John Miller, wrote this movie as well. But his father was in the original Exorcist.
Ooh,
Right? Who, of course, played the second priest, if you like. Dr.
Yes.
Caracas?
Yes.
That one. So, is he, as the writer-director of this movie, doing a bit of autobiography with this movie? Because in the original Exorcist, it's about a girl who gets possessed.
Yes.
The movie in this movie is about a girl who gets possessed. And the original Exorcist was supposedly a haunted set. Oh, just like this movie. I've seen the movie. And that story is probably the more interesting part of this movie than the movie itself. Has a really interesting premise, but if you're a horror fan, you're going to like it. And if you like Russell Crowe, he never dials it in. And he's so watchable. And in this, it actually reminded me of his performance in The Mummy, where he played Jekyll and Hyde. Because originally, he plays Jekyll, he's very mild-mannered, very calm, and then he turns into Mr. Hyde and becomes this Cockney out of nowhere, but also fearful, scary dude. He does this in this movie, which I thought was really, really amusing. Oh, it's just like The Mummy again, but with Russell Crowe, it's really good. So, again, one for horror fans, if you want a lot of counter-programming this week. Okay, because of course we have Inside Out, Garfield's still playing strong, and we have Bad Boys, which is action comedy, fantastic. So audiences need a bit of horror, don't they, to balance everything out. So as we say, directed by Joshua John Miller. He has fun in it, and also Sam Worthington's in it. Yeah, so a big weekend for him because he's in our second movie, which we'll talk about in a second. But so that's Russell Crowe. Also saw Ryan Simpkins as his daughter. Okay, so she's great in the movie as well. So she carries the plot along on her shoulders while Russell Crowe does acting. So check her out as well. Our next movie, Isabel, is Breathe. Okay, so this was out 3 months ago in the West, shall we say, but arrived on our shores finally at Novo.
This one is they lose their oxygen. I do believe.
So we're in a post-apocalyptic world.
Yes.
Okay, another one. Okay.
It's very interesting. They are a downstairs basement, right? And they are detached from the whole world, and these outsiders come across them.
Played by Mila Jovovich,
Yes.
of Fifth Element, of course.
Oh my god!
And who plays her husband? Sam Worthington. He's back.
He's the guy. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, nowhere. But yeah, carry on.
Yes, and they fight a battle between the strangers because they do believe the strangers they can find the machine they can create it again, so there will be oxygen. The daughter actually, she kind of finds this very innovative because if they can find a cure to end this apocalypse, why not give it a try, right?
Okay.
But the mother is just too fierce.
Okay. Played by Jennifer Hudson, former Oscar winner. So it's interesting to see her in this type of movie. So it's sci-fi, right?
Yes.
So I want to ask you a question. What's your favorite cause of apocalypse in movies? Because this is the second one this year. So we've had this. So this is just oxygen running out. We've had Planet of the Apes virus. In previous years, we've had the bomb. We've also had, how else has humanity killed itself? Oh yeah, nuclear apocalypse, of course.
Yes.
What's
and
your
you're gonna forget the alien ones.
Yeah. Okay, aliens come and destroy us. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie apocalypse?
It's dark again.
What's your favorite?
Zombies.
You like the zombie apocalypse? Oh,
I want to swing my bat right and
Oh,
left.
because you want to fight them up. Sam, what's your favorite?
I would go with the zombies.
The zombie apocalypse. Okay.
but
And everyone at home, leave your comments below. What's your favorite end of the human race in the movies? Okay. Okay. So we got sci-fi. We got a horror coming out. So Breathe. It did okay business in the US and the UK. Maybe do good business here. Do you think so?
I do believe the plot is good, in my opinion, completely. But I think it's not something for here, the Qatar or UAE,
No.
right?
Okay.
I don't feel like they will not get very much excited, the people here.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so we'll talk about the top 10 in a minute, but do you think Bad Boys, for example, is what audiences want right now? And Inside Out?
Yeah.
So they want colour, they want a bit of joy, a bit of happiness.
Color and action, and I feel like famous actors also play a big role here. Because Will Smith is very big.
Yeah.
And that's why Bad Boys did very good.
Okay. So here in Qatar, we like our movie stars. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Because it's interesting, because we recently did a podcast, our flagship on Qatartainment last Wednesday. We talked about why has Qatar not had a Comic-Con?
Yes.
And one of the reasons was we can't attract celebrities, we can't attract big stars yet. Do you think that's what's missing?
That's what's missing.
And why can't we attract big stars? Because we've had people do stand-up, we've had people perform, like Kevin Hart, for example. We've had the World Cup, so we've cornered the sports destination. How can we now corner the geek destination? What do you think?
Destination. I do believe it's a very deep question, because here you are very careful of what you do. You don't want to disrespect, you don't want to show negativity or complaints or stuff like this, because here you will find a lot of people from outside rather than being the ones that are Qataris.
Yeah, you and I are expats, right?
Yes. So I feel like that is why some people don't have the opportunity to invest into this stuff or put their time into this stuff, because they don't really have the time. They come here to work.
So once we get on top of the work-life balance, more recreation time, people can invest in geekdom, for example. Yeah?
Exactly.
Fingers crossed. Okay. So those are the big two for this week. Expectations for next week, shall we say? Okay.
Next week, big release, we have it.
I'm excited about this movie.
Me too. I watched the trailer. It's good. I want to watch it, the whole movie.
Which is?
It's The Quiet Place, Day One.
Day One.
My God, we're going to go back.
Yeah, back. So this is the third in the saga, shall we say. So we'll find out exactly what happened on day one when the aliens arrive. The trailer is immense. I really love the trailer.
What's going on? It's too much. I love it. When I was watching it while standing up, because I couldn't handle sitting down. I was like, am I going to run with them?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Trailer's doing its job. Okay.
Truly.
So we get that next week, right? Okay. So, third. So did you enjoy the first one? I haven't seen any in the cinema. Have you seen them in the cinema?
No, I haven't seen it in cinema. I feel like in cinema, when you see it, it's going to be quite different.
Yeah, because in all those movies, especially when you feel like you have to be quiet, like the characters are, you're quiet yourself.
Yes.
Your breathing changes. Your popcorn's like, no.
I can't chew on it because it's making a sound.
So I can't wait. I loved, but the first one was a great surprise for me. I thought, oh no, okay, I'll give it a go. But it was really, really good, and it just grabs you, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That's our big release next week. So you can get your tickets and book your tickets now at Novo. And get the app, folks. The app is awesome for Novo. Do check it out. Or novocinemas.com. You'll get all your tickets ready on there. And we're going to talk about the Premier Club in a moment. Check that out too. Okay. Isabel, should we do this week's top 10? So, at 10, we'll offer our thoughts.
We shall jump there right now, right here. All right. We have it at top 10. Tarot, the Death Card.
Okay, so another horror movie based on the tarot card reading. And of course, you get the death card. Like, oh, you did.
You gone.
In real life, this means could be a change. Something in your life is going to change and leave part of your life behind. But in movies, you're dead. Okay, so it's done okay. Press that's in the top 10. I'm really happy for it.
Yes.
Okay, so again, horror fans, do check it out if you have a free moment at Nova. At 9, what we got?
At 9, we got it, The Watchers.
The Watchers. Okay, so this is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Yes.
Yeah, and it seems to be a diluted version of his movies. Now, I haven't been to see it yet, but again, it's still there. Because when it came out, scores were not so good, IMDb wasn't great, critic scores weren't good, but it's really hung in there here and in the West. So I think people were giving it its dues because it's an M. Night Shyamalan daughter movie. So his name still carries weight with audiences. So I'm still pleased it's in the top 10.
Shall I say,
Please.
The Watchers is kind of like similar to Quiet Place.
Okay.
Isn't it? It's happening in a forest, right?
Yeah.
And they're in a bunker. and there is people like aliens watching them.
Okay, I don't know.
Oh, you
I'll leave it to
know.
you.
I saw the trailer. I was actually planning to come to Nova to watch it,
Okay.
but when I saw the trailer, it really didn't strike me to come to see it because I feel like it was too
Tame, bland.
bland.
Ah, okay. Not like
That's the
Quiet
word.
Place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But still number 9. Let's see what is the same next week.
Yes.
At 8.
Oh my God! It is Garfield.
You hungry, little guy?
A kitty.
No,
I love him.
I've loved Garfield since I was that tall. And this movie means a lot to me because I took my son and he is that tall. No, we saw at the premiere, and this is not my Garfield. I don't mean that in a bad way. Now, I grew up watching it after school. It was on every day. The Garfield and Friends cartoon. We had Orson's Farm as well. And it was brilliant. Lorenzo Music did the voice, and Garfield was just everywhere. And you just watched it, and this is a perfect cartoon. And there's been bits and pieces in between. You've had the 2 live-action movies with the lukewarm reception, with Bill Murray, who I love from Ghostbusters, and everything he's been in pretty much. Yeah, Kingpin. And I thought, I saw Garfield in the theatre. I thought, this is okay. As in the Bill Murray one. And then you've had the cartoons on Nickelodeon forever, ever. So when I went to see this one, this was only a few weeks ago, I thought, this isn't my Garfield. But my little boy loved it. And he said, Daddy, I love seeing Garfield on the big screen. Now that's a win for the studio. I love seeing Garfield on the big screen. What more do they want? Now, I follow John Cohen, who's the producer of the Garfield movie, on Instagram, and this dude is over the moon with his performance. The budget was 60 million. It has tripled that on the world, at least by time of recording. So he's a very happy man. He also produced the Angry Birds movies and things like that. So most of these animated movies you see, the CGI ones, he's the producer. And he actually was really nice. So I commented on his news and I said, I'm really happy to see Garfield do well. I've loved it forever, and now my little boy does. And he liked and sent 3 orange hearts. PR, good man. But it's not my Garfield. The plot is all over the place. You meet John for like 5 minutes. Odie's in it, which is great. So Odie is the MVP of this movie. I love Odie. But he goes off and has this adventure with all these new characters, and that's fine. But I think we're used to Garfield and his domesticity. His house with John, with Odie. Luckily, Garfield is nice to Odie. They're friends. That makes me happy. Because usually he's kicking Odie off the table. That makes me sad. But now Odie is his best friend, and that's really cool. Chris Pratt is okay. But I think Chris Pratt is just the name you put over animated characters now. Until you can't think of someone else. So he did that with Super Mario, did that with the Lego movie. Who's good voices? Chris Pratt. Yeah, Chris Pratt. So that's fine too. But I'm very happy it's doing well. There'll definitely be a sequel. Will I go and see it at the cinema? I'll take my little boy. Hopefully it's just as good.
Yes.
So Garfield, go see it. If you haven't already, most people have. That's why it's still in the top 10 everywhere still.
All right. Shall we move on?
Let's.
All right. On the 6th we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Wow. Okay, so that's hung around that spot for a couple of weeks now. Have you seen that movie yet?
No, actually.
Okay.
I haven't seen none of them. My time is very...
It's very limited, that's true. I'm so lucky to have you here, actually. Okay, so it's been floating around that between 5 and 10 spot for a number of weeks. Again, post-apocalyptic. 9th in the series overall. And I think it's a great movie. I really enjoyed it. So people are going between, it's 2 hours long. The first hour is boring. No, it's not. It's world building. Second hour, you're into the fights because they've gone down the humanity road, of let's not work together. Let's just fight as much as we can.
Yeah.
They do that. Yeah. But it's really, really good. And we did a whole podcast again on Qatartainment. You can go and find us on YouTube where we talked a whole 2 hours, didn't we, Sam, about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and how they've built that world, how they've made a legacy based on these movies from 30, 40 years ago and still made it current. So if you haven't already, again, go and see it Nova.
On the 5th, we have, drum roll, The Strangers, Chapter 1.
Okay, so another horror movie, another bunker situation. Yeah. So this is the third movie in this franchise. The first one was way back in 2008 with Liv Tyler. Have you seen that one? Another horror movie?
I think I've seen it. I don't remember it.
A long
Not
time
much.
ago. Sure. So again, you have this couple who are in this Airbnb. And again, they are strangers who make their life unpleasant for no particular reason. Otherwise, you were there, as we learned in the first movie. So, if you've seen movies like Don't Breathe
Yes.
and The Quiet Place, you've seen what this movie is about before. Okay, so it's an external force who are malevolent for a reason that the plot needs to be, and the characters are, what shall we say? I don't want to say stupid. I want to say make poor choices, and you've always find those in horror movies. So it's another good night out, another great time out. So we have it Novo all the time. But if you like your horrors, like your jump scares, you like don't go over there, go over there to the screen. This one's for you for sure.
Now, the fourth place we have ألعب مع العيال.
ابدا معاكم سلاح التلميذ.
Okay, so
This
this is
is
for
an
local.
Arabic one.
Yes.
Yes. I watched it. It was quite funny.
Okay, what's the plot?
All right. There is a teacher. Okay, in a very like how can I say it? In a very old place, like a village. Okay, and he has this students which are very interesting. They have weapons. They're not like typical students. They are very like they are very much a different type of student, and it's okay.
So where are we based here?
Yes.
Where are we talking? What year are we in here?
Everyone in the village is crazy. Literally, they give the teacher a bomb, they light it, and
What the hell is this?
it's just a funny sequel of just them scaring the teacher too much.
Okay.
And it
Sounds like
has-
my students. Okay.
in a different way, not that way. But I, you know, here's the thing. I liked it, but I wasn't paying much attention to it. I don't know. It didn't grab my attention too much.
Okay.
I think it was not bland, but interesting in a way that it would be more interesting to Arabic people,
Okay.
Arabs who understand most. Now, my Arabic is not that good,
Okay.
but I try to understand it. What I got was just that. Overall, it was very interesting because this is something which is very unique, though for the Arabs, I do believe. And overall, they did a very good job at it.
Okay.
The cinematic and everything was very good.
Okay, so it's well made, well written, well directed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Before a local audience.
Yes, for the local
Perfect.
audience.
Okay, can't ask for more than that. Excellent. Okay.
All right. So now the third place we have ولعد ريسك 3.
السعودية يعني بنلعب برا أرضنا.
This is a part of a trilogy. Okay, another local movie.
Oh, I haven't seen it, this one,
Okay.
but I do believe it's a local movie. I don't know much about it. I think you should give it a try and give it a go. If you are local, you would definitely like it because it's very interesting.
Well, these movies are very high in the top 5, so obviously
Yes.
audiences are enjoying and sharing the
Yes,
wealth,
exactly,
word of mouth.
exactly.
Yeah, go and see them, of course.
And it's you know, you expect them to be on the top because it's a local area, so everyone would enjoy watching them.
Cool.
So much overall, they are good because they are on the top. So I would really recommend watching them
There
if
we
you
go.
if you want to get like a break from horrors and
Yeah,
you
US
know,
box office, yeah.
Hollywood.
Blockbusters, sure.
Exactly. That's a good. Now our favorite.
Oh, where are we now?
We. Second place, we have Inside Out 2.
Okay. Okay, so interesting is number 2 for Inside Out 2. Then jump to the top. Okay. But we're
Yeah.
happy it's there. So obviously, locals love the family, and we have lots of expat families here. So they've come and
Yes.
see it in their droves, and that's really exciting. Yeah. So, number 2. Okay, so Inside Out 4. Okay, so again, Disney Pixar. Again, they're going with investing in sequels. We talked about this again pre-record, didn't we? That
Yes.
sort of Disney are going down the route of crowd pleasers. And we were a bit, because crowd pleaser, another word for sequel, 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 prequel, sequel, sequel, prequel, prequel, prequel. And if we look at the top 10 animated movies ever, and the recent, say, this century, this millennium, most of them are sequels, part of a trilogy, or even Toy Story 4's case, 4. We have Frozen 2 in there, we have Incredibles 2 in there. What do you think of this decision by Disney? And it's across Star Wars as well, and it's across the MCU, where they're, instead of boosting the creativity, they're going on what they rely on, because it's a business decision.
Of course.
What do you think?
I think if you speak in a business matter, in a business point of view, I think it would do good for them. But personally, for the people watching them, I feel like it will be kind of anticipated.
Okay.
Sequels, prequels, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, for us, we want new stuff. We want like new creations, new adaptations, new to be entertained. Of course, they are entertaining us. But at this point, it would be a sort of like on a line, you know. But it depends overall what they come up with. It depends all on them. If they bring new characters, character developments, and etc., that would be very amazing to watch. But if you know, you've watched the first one and the second one, but if you know like what the plot is, what the thing is, you would expect it to be the same.
Yeah.
Or but if they like push it very like exciting, something very not expected at all, you would be, wait a minute, no, this is a good idea. It all depends on them, I do believe.
Yeah.
How they create it, how they come up with it.
Yeah.
In what ways, in what innovative ways they can make it more interesting for us.
Yeah, for the
because
audience.
the news was very bad. Honestly, I didn't like it.
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah. I was shocked that news story appeared in Bloomberg, of course. So, how many sequels can you make? Because we're getting Toy Story 5. And everyone was happy with Toy Story 3. And
Yes.
I would say 3 is my favourite Pixar movie, if you have that as all genre. Pixar movies are its own genre. Yeah, so Toy Story 3 is my favourite. You know, I openly cried in the cinema at that one. When the crawl and you think they're all going to burn, they're all holding hands. Come on! But unless they make new ones, they're going to have sequels to anything. So it's just going to be The Incredibles, Toy Story, Frozen over and over again.
that just sounds very,
Doesn't it?
very boredom.
Yeah,
boring.
DreamWorks are trying to do something different. They did with Shrek. So they made, of course, 4 Shrek movies, but they also introduced the characters and gave them spin-offs, like Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
See, the Kung Fu Panda, they're doing that now. So they reduced the budget for Kung Fu Panda 4, brought in a side character, and then made a ton of money. So maybe the side character's going to get their own spin-off, which is an innovative way of doing it as opposed to sequel. So we'll see. But I believe I read that when Disney took over Pixar, the deal was, okay, we're going to give you creative freedom, make your own movies, but give us a sequel after.
Yeah.
Make your own movie, give us a sequel after. So maybe they're changing that deal a little bit, Darth Vader style to Lando, say, I'm altering the deal. But we'll see in the next few years, won't we?
I do believe for them right now, currently, it's very much hard to come up with new stuff. That's why they choose to do this.
Yeah.
Overall, it's more easy to add more characters rather than come up with a whole
new characters. Oh, there's no one to write anything.
Oh my lord.
I can write a few for you, but we'll see. Okay, so that's Inside Out 2. So we're very happy about that. And like, they've done it well. It's not the same story. Like you said, they brought in the new characters, set aside the old ones, but for story reasons, not to sell more toys,
Exactly.
not to sell more soundtracks.
Exactly.
It's to further the story because the character's getting older. So you have this original core group when you're little, but then the P word, puberty hits, and all of a sudden you go nuts because of all these new emotions are coming out of everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's our view. What do you think of Inside Out 2, folks? Are they doing it the right way? What do you think of Pixar and Disney in particular saying, let's reduce creativity, let's make more sequels and prequels? Comments below. Okay.
Of course.
And one, Isabel, what have we got?
One.
What could it possibly be?
Oh my lord.
An original movie, perhaps? A horror movie, perhaps?
You guess. What is it? Bad Boys 4.
You fall in your face, just fall in a
We got two
I had
suspects.
such a great time with this movie, and I was actually saw it in the screen when Novo kindly invited myself and Abdurrahman to the premiere, and we had an amazing time, an amazing movie, and it was just what we needed, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had such a great time. I laughed out loud many times, and I had not watched a Bad Boys movie before.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
I know, right? And actually, I used to work in a cinema, surprise, surprise. And I worked in cinema when I was 18 to 21. And I remember when Bad Boys 2 came out, I still didn't see it. So even thinking back that the first one was 1995. So last millennium, the first one came out. And I was in high school. And then the second one, I was in my first proper job. And the third one, fourth one, I'm in. That's crazy. And people are rocking up to see it, and I have been for these few weeks. Amazing. And it's worth it, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, it's a new thing. Every action movie put Bad Boys next to every action movie that you know. I'm not saying compare it in a bad way, but just to have like an idea why Bad Boy is doing good. I think it's doing good because the plot is just too much like, what's gonna happen? Is he dead? Is he alive? The way he holds the guns, the way he handles the camera, that one camera shot that he does, this one, I think that blew it. It blew it. How could he? He's a very great actor. The actors in the movie, because these heavy cameras they're carrying, and then
the behind the scenes that was
controlling it. It was just amazing. That's why it's on the top.
Yeah, because they've got the core chemistry of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith,
Exactly.
and that's carried on, and the characters have aged as well. They're not stuck, in 1995.
Exactly.
They're old, they're tired, they're having heart attacks, they're having anxiety, they're getting married, and they're grandparents. But the stories moved with them and made it more fun as well.
Yes.
And they have this little core group, and I'm so glad they didn't say, we're a family. Vin Diesel style. I'm so glad he didn't do that. That's the bad F word. But because he could easily have said that, couldn't he? Because he has his little police force gang, and you just think, please don't say it, Will, just don't say it, because they have this little pep talk before they go on the final mission. I'm just waiting for him going, don't say we're family, just don't do it, Will. But he doesn't. But like last segment, and we have the albino alligator. For no reason, but this is fun. And it's funny.
It's fun.
And it's just fun. And I don't know, I'm still not used to Will Smith swearing. There's lots of MF bombs in this. It's like, oh, Will. What are you... And it doesn't need it, but I think they're trying to link back to their badasses.
Yeah.
Bad boys, in fact.
Bad boy. I mean, come on, it's on the name. How can you not expect them?
But it's cool. I'm glad it's at number one still.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good top 10.
Good top 10, honestly. What do you think?
Yep. So should we do our projections for next week's top 10? Do we think Bad Boys will be at number one still?
No.
Will Inside Out be number one? Will they switcheroo? What do you think?
It may be switching, maybe, but I cannot be sure. My prediction is Bad Boy is still going to be on the top.
Really? Okay, I mean, after all this time.
Yes.
Okay, because looking at the movies coming out this week, I think they're going to go into the bottom 5 of the top 10. The new ones in particular, and then I think Inside Out will stay up there.
It's crazy because I didn't hear about that until now.
There we go, exclusive.
That's why it's going to be on the down. All right. What do we think? Inside Out 2. Is it going to still be on the second?
Or number one? I'm going to go with number one.
Oh, it's gonna
Yeah,
jump to
I think
number
Bad Boys will stay at number 2. Number 3, I'm going to stick with the Arabic entries.
one. Yes.
And then number 5, I'm going to go with The Exorcism. I think people will, like we said, will want a horror movie. I think people like Russell Crowe, big movie star. So like we said, our locals like our movie stars, no problem with that.
Exactly.
And then the rest of the top 10, we just have to see. So there we have it, folks. That is our news, our reviews, our top 10, and our previews all done. And as we keep saying, please, we want to hear from you. Do you agree with our reviews? Let's hear yours on any of those top 10 movies you've seen. We really want you to get involved in the community, keep it growing, because we do want a Comic-Con And also we want this show, Are You Not Qatartained, to grow and grow and grow. We want these chairs one day filled with you guys, with Isabel and myself, emceeing, inviting you for Q&As, live events, special screenings. We want you to get involved, and the only way to do that is to know you're listening and to know you're watching. Okay, so that is your part of the deal. We're going to stay here and we're going to talk movies for as long as we are allowed to at Novo Cinema, Place Vanadome. Okay.
I want to tell you an advice. Movie is one thing that will detach you a little bit from reality. That's why you should watch movies. I recommend it very much. And you should watch our show. As he said, we would love to see you guys here with us, making some noise and maybe sharing your thoughts on it live. So comment below.
If you want a great time out, you come to Novo Cinema. And in the meantime, we hope you've been Qatartained. And this has been Are You Not Qatartained? See you next time.